We are in Parshat Vayigash, the weekly Torah portion. Here we go. It says, Vayigash, first we're going through the first aliyah. Just to catch everybody up, remember what happened. Binyamin was accused of stealing Yosef's goblet that he drank from, and he was Yosef was claiming the role of a sorcerer, that he would use that stuff for. Very nice. So so they bring everybody back. Yehuda falls upon the sword, as it were. It's an expression. He really didn't fall upon the sword. Okay, it's just an expression. And he says that, okay, we'll all be slaves, including the one who was caught. To which Yosef says, Chas v'shalom, I don't want that. I only want the person who is going to be, who was caught. And the rest you go home. That's it. Very nice. So what happens is like this. It starts off, Vayigash elav Yehuda. Yehuda approached him. And that's a strange word too. Vayigash many times can mean, it's the language of going to war.
What's the shortest?
Nagash.
Nagash.
Nagash. Right. So it's many times a going to war situation. And so Rashi says, so what happened? Before we finish, go to Rashi. And Yehuda came to him, came close to him, Vayomer bi Adoni, and he says, please, my master, let my words please be spoken, let the words be a servant, please be spoken into the ears of my master. And do not become angry at your servant, because you are like Paro. So Rashi right away says, what's going on? Yichnesu divrei ba'aznecha. Let the words enter into your ears. Because what do you think he's doing? Whispering to the guy? You can't whisper to him for two reasons. One, he's the king, he's the viceroy. The second is, as far as Yehuda knows, he cannot speak Hebrew. So what would be the use of him going up and speaking Hebrew to the Egyptian? It wouldn't work. Okay. Also, it's not derech eretz. It's not proper conduct to go to the second in command and start whispering to him. It just doesn't work like that. So then he says, and Rashi continues, "V'al yichar apacha, do not become angry." So from here, Rashi learns that he was speaking in a harsh language. It wasn't a very nice tone, if you will. And then it says, Ki kamocha keparo. Now here Rashi goes at length. He says, what does that mean? You're like Paro? It says, Chashuvata be'enai kemelech, that you, Safna Paneach, let's use his given name by Paro. You, Safna Paneach, are to me like a king. In my eyes, you're a king. And that's it. Okay. Let's compliment the guy. That's the simple interpretation. The Midrash says, Sofo is, now here's a negative. Sofcha l'kot Allah b'tzarat. In your end, you will be hit with sara'as, this spiritual leprosy or spiritual disease, just like Paro was when he wanted my grandmother Sarah. Okay, he gives him a little bit of history there. On the one night that he held her back. That's one explanation. Another one is, just as Paro made a decree and he did not fulfill the decree, he made promises but he didn't do it. Also, you are the same, in that you said, I just want to see your younger brother, and then now you want to keep him for your servant. Okay, so what was the decree that Paro made, or that decree that Egypt made in general, that a slave could not become an officer of the court? And here we have Yosef becoming the officer of the court. So the decrees were made and so on and so forth. And then finally he says, the last one, you are like Paro. If you anger me, I will kill you and your master. So three things that Rashi throws at us and says, these are the three possible meanings. He has, I'm not going to go through all the reasons why he gives three reasons, but there are, these are the concepts that are being said. That's the Canaan Balei Tosfot says something also very interesting on this one. He says, you are like Paro, and he says, just like, I can't find it right now, so I'll just take my word for it. Just like Paro was wanted my grandmother. You want Binyamin sexually. He's calling him a homosexual, basically. Yeah. Here it is. Kashem Shaparo Chamad Sarah, just as Paro wanted Sarah, because if she was so beautiful, you also want Binyamin as a slave because of his beauty. So now, when you first read that, now he doesn't know he doesn't know he's Yosef. He's not accusing Yosef of being homosexual. He's accusing Safna Paneach, bisexual, whatever the case is going to be, and he's saying this. So again, that is a reason to be upset, especially if you're not. Now, why would he be considered that? Let's face it, Egypt was immersed in sexual immorality.
Was that typical of these other ancient civilizations? Like, in Rome, we know this happened too. They thought nothing of it.
Yes, absolutely. This was part of their society. They were that was part of the decadency. Is that a word? Decadency is a word.
Yeah.
I'm making up a word. Okay.
Decadence is a word.
Decadence is a word. I know that, but not decadency.
Yeah.
I think it's a word. If not, it's a nebulism right now. I just created the word. Great. Okay. But that's what. Yeah. This definitely was there, and that's why that's how you have to understand the Das Canaan, that he was using their desires. And by the way, if you go back to Potiphar was also accused of that. And the others, they're all looking at Yosef. Remember, he's a good-looking guy. Mm. And sometimes when a guy is too good-looking, he can look a little effeminate, and that can also create sometimes, something going on there. I'm not sure if that's what the issue was. It could just be he was a good-looking guy, and the guy wanted... And he's saying, that's why you want him. Because otherwise, why would he pick on Binyamin? By the way, he's also accusing him very strongly as this is a setup and I know it. It's totally a setup. Because, one second. Because he said, we had money, we found money in our bags, we brought that back. We're honest people. So obviously, the same way the money got into our bags the first time, so did this goblet, and you're setting us up. So, and why would you set up? Because the only reason you'd be setting us up is because you like him. That's, by the way, all this comes back to the anger part. I'm speaking harshly to you, yeah.
Also, on the setup part is, why would you want to keep someone as a slave who stole from you?
Oh, that was because, the reason you want to keep somebody as a slave who stole is because that's how you ensure that you get your justice. In other words, in Jewish law, if somebody would steal, he gets sold as a slave to work, pay off the debt. Because the way we do it in America, somebody steals, what would we do? Throw him into jail. It's the best system ever. He gets 3 squares, meals. He gets meals. He gets insurance. He gets a nice bed. He gets bars. I mean, obviously jail isn't great, but it's better than being out in the cold. There's actually a very interesting story I had to read when I was in high school. And I don't remember the story. I don't remember the name of the story, but it goes like this. There was a guy who was, he didn't have a home. He was homeless. And so every winter he would break into the store, break into some store. He'd be arrested. He would have a 6-month vacation in jail, get his meals, everything. And, okay, fine. So this time, winter's coming. So what he does is he tries to rob somebody. And he failed. He tries somebody else. It failed again. The 3rd time. And then he starts thinking, he does a little bit of tshuva. They didn't have tshuva when I was going to college in high school. But this guy did a little bit of tshuva. And he said, obviously, I'm not meant to be going to jail. And that means I should change my life. He says, I'm going to change my life. At that moment, he gets picked up for loitering and thrown to jail. The twist of the story. Like I said, I'm not sure who the story was written by, but it was a great story because here the guy realized I really should be not in jail, and then turn of fate, he gets put to jail. Okay, but that's what could be done here. Now again, we want them to pay off their debt. So, but what better way than if you steal, I make you my indentured servant. Now you're working for me. So, and the fact of the matter is, you're not going to do anything against me because if you try to leave, I'm going to kill you. You have a death warrant to head you. It is a viceroy. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to get away. The guy dies as a result. Yeah.
It's a side tangent. No, not a side
Side tangents?
No, it's related. I think Scotland or Ireland had a law like this too, where if somebody stole from them, the family could either kill the person or make them their slave.
Okay.
And do whatever they want to that.
Right. Well, in Jewish law, it doesn't let you do,
Right. No,
but
right.
if you want, it doesn't let you kill them. Okay. They have to pay off the debt.
Right.
That's what you're doing. Okay, so now at 19. So Adonishal, again, he's always calling Yosef son of Adonech by my master. So Adonishal, my master, asked Ed Avadav Lemor, his servant, saying, Hayesh lechem av o ach? Do you have a brother? Or do you have a father and do you have a brother? So again, he says, Mitchila, Rashi explained, Mitchila balila ba'at aleinu. Originally, you came upon us with some sort of complaint. And then, why do you have to ask all these things? Were we requesting your daughter? Notice you thought it was a shidduch maybe, that you had to start asking about my family. Were we trying to date your daughter? Maybe you wanted to date our sister. I mean, what's going on here? What kind of question is this? And even so, even though you didn't ask anybody else these questions, thousands of people are coming to you. Suddenly we come into your room and say, your father, you have a brother, you have a couple of people here, you might make a shidduch maybe. Well, what's going on? Why'd you pick on us? And still with all that, we sold our master. We told my master, we didn't hold anything back from you. We're honest people. And we said to my master, Yesh lanu av zakein, we have an old father, v'yeled zekunim katan, and a man and a young boy of his old age, a young boy, okay? V'achiv mate, and his brother's dead. Oh, wait a second. What did they say the first time? He's missing. And now they're saying he's dead. So why are you saying, you guys are claiming to be truthful. Now can you imagine, I remember saying this many years ago, can you imagine Yosef hearing his brother's dead? You're dead, pal. Remember, it's Yosef, he's listening to this. And his brother is dead. That must have killed Yosef, no matter what you think. Nobody wants to hear, what's the expression from Mark Twain, my death has been greatly exaggerated. And so, right? That was Mark Twain, yeah. From Mark Twain.
No.
A lot of people quote it.
The rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Right. And then it says, and he, this young man, we're not giving a name, he alone is what? The survivor to his mother, and his father loves him. So what happens? Rashi says right away, made his brother's dead, because of the fear, F-E-A-R, because of the fear, he lied. A lie came out of his mouth because he was afraid. Amar im omer lo shehu kayam. He was thinking, if I tell him he's alive, yomer hoviu eitzli, then he's going to tell me bring him too. So he's speaking, I'll lie about it. Now, the Siptei Chachamim says, wait a second, Pharaoh's going to catch him here too. Right? You first, and like I taught him, wait, first you said you don't know. Now you're saying he's dead. So Yehuda already had his thing signed up. He would have said, it's true. When we first came, we didn't know. But then we did the investigation, and we found out he died. So Yosef couldn't ask. If he had, he could have answered him. And he alone remains from his mother, Me'otayim. From that mother, because we're claimed to be the same, the sons of the same father. So if he says his mother, he's the last one of his mother, well, wait a second, how many, you guys are here. So what do you mean it's the last? So, that mother, we had 4 mothers here. So from that mother, he was the only one. But he does have another brother. But Tomer Elavadachad, you said to your servants, Horidu Eli, bring him down to me, Vyasima Eni Alav, and I will put my eyes on him, and I'm going to see him, and that will prove that you're not lying. Vanomer Eladani, and we said, are you raising your hand or yeah? What's up? You're raising your hand, scratching.
Nah, I started with him.
Okay. It's convenient. Yeah.
If Yehuda's getting angry and all of his brothers
Speaking harshly. It's different from angry.
Right.
He can't get angry because then you're going to lose.
Right.
So speaking harshly. Go ahead.
So if he's speaking harshly and all of his, assumedly, assumedly, all of his brothers are willing to do whatever they can to get Benjamin back. Yosef's treading on thin ice here because Shimon and Levi wiped out an entire city. There's not 10 of his brothers.
Yeah, but again, you're not alone. He's not alone.
Right.
So Yosef is surrounded by people that they're in the castle, if you will. So you're at a big disadvantage. That's number one. Number two, the brothers. That was when they were young and foolish. Right now, you're dealing with people. He's 39, which means his brother is 46. Right. So you're having older people here. When you get older, take it from me. When you get older, we're not as rash or as brash as we were when we were younger. And we're not going to take on the whole world just for this. And on top of that, we're really not. Again, you have a whole army. We're facing the superpower of the day. There's only 10 of us. It's not a little town Shechem anymore. It's like 10 Jews going to the White House. Well, I better stop that right then there because it's really, they may listen to that and say, "Oh, he's saying this." But it'd be 10 people go and say we're going to take over the government. It's not a smart thing to do.
Right.
And again, you want to go home. He doesn't have a mind to fight. We know the end. What he wants to do is say, take me in his place.
Right.
He's not even trying to get out of it.
Well, he doesn't want to go home.
Who? Yehuda's willing to stay. Yehuda's going to be willing to stay.
Right, but he swore to kill his own sons if he came back without.
No. First of all, that was Reuven. He didn't swear to kill out his sons. He said, Reuven said that Yaakov could kill him. And Yaakov looked at him like, you're insane. Why would I kill my own grandchildren? So that wasn't good. But what Yehuda's doing is he's giving up his Olam Haba. If he can't bring Binyamin back. That's what he said to his father. I'll be willing to give up my life in the world to come if I can't bring Binyamin back to you. So Yehuda is really putting himself on the line here. His brothers are quiet. The brothers are quiet. They're watching. I don't know what's going to happen if things don't work out. We're not sure what's going to happen. But we're also not sure if they're going to go head on and say we're going to kill you. Again, that's only one opinion that says they would say, just like I'll kill Paro, I'll kill you.
Right.
But that means nobody's going to get out alive.
Right. I mean, Yosef surely knows that that's a risk. You don't want to get these people to that point. You don't want to.
Again, but Yehuda's being a very good salesman right now.
So they're negotiating, but if it comes to that point, that's not a good move. You don't
Correct.
You want to get 10 of these people who, when they were 13,
Correct.
2 of them could wipe out an entire city.
Correct.
But still.
All right. Well, no problem. No, I agree with you. He does. That's why he separated originally Shimon from Levi.
Right.
And put Shimon to jail and let Levi go home. Because he didn't want to deal with that. But again, they're older now, and I think that they're right. There's a big negotiation going on, and on top of it, they were caught.
Right.
Regardless of what's going on, they were caught. And so, unlike in the case of Shechem, where the guy raped their sister, and they wanted revenge. Here, they have no desire to fight if they don't have to.
Right.
They rather negotiate this out, and because they were caught. Again, if I'm caught by the cops for whatever reason, even if I've done nothing wrong, could be a case of mistaken identity, I'm not going to start fighting with the cop. Okay, whatever you say, sir. You give me the ticket or whatever you're going to do. If I have to go to jail that night, you go to jail. You don't make a war at that point. It's just not worth it. You're going to lose. So they know that. Again, as a young kid, at 13, you may not think that way. But as an older person, you just say, thank you, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, until you can figure out what's going on. And Yehuda still has to figure out what's going on, how this cup got into Binyamin's bag.
It seems like he knows that.
He said it was this, he's thinking it's a setup. But again, when they were checking the bag, as you go back to the story, they started out with Reuven, and they ended up with the youngest. But if they would have gone right to the youngest, then certainly a set up. But here wasn't sure, so he doesn't know. He's blaming it on God. He says God found a way to do it to us, but He still doesn't know. But what he knows is he can't leave Binyamin there.
Right.
That he knows. I have to get Binyamin out of here.
Right.
And back home. Otherwise, I'm never going to hear the end of this from my father. So that he knows. And by the way, Yehuda, let's remember, Yehuda's one who also said, Ma betza, what's the profit to kill our brother? Let's sell him. So he already saw what happened to Yaakov when Yosef didn't come home. And how his brothers reacted towards him. He doesn't want the repeat of that. So again, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here that he doesn't want to fight. He wants to figure out how to do this. And if I can get away scot-free, great. If I can't, well, I'll fall on this again. I'll fall on the proverbial sword for this, if you let me. Okay, so then what happens is, V'tomer levadecha, and you said to your servant, again, now it's back to Yosef said to me, your servants, Im lo yered achichem hakaton idchem, if your younger brother will not come with you, so lo tasifon liro panai, you can no longer see my face. That's it. That's my conditions. You bring them, and then we can see each other. Vahike alinu, and there was when we went up, El Avdecha to your servant, to my father. By the way, it's interesting that Yosef is punished for all of these Avdechas. All your servant, my father, because he kept listening to it. He allowed that to happen. So he's punished for that because it was a lack of kibbud of. It's interesting. Now, how he was supposed to get out of that, I have no idea. But he is punished for that. So, v'nagid lo, and we told it to him, et divrei adoni, the words of my master. V'yomer avinu ma, and our father said, shuvu, return, shivu lanu ma'at ochel, buy for us a little food, not much, just a little. And when you read that, you're thinking maybe he'll negotiate for a little food, not. V'nomer, and we said, lo nuchal leret, we can't go down. If our little brother is with us, then v'yiradnu, we will go down. Because we cannot see the panei each, we cannot see the face of the man. And our younger brothers are with us. We can't see him. So your servant, my father, said to us, Atem yadatem, you know, that my wife gave birth to 2 children. Now, again, here are these brothers pouring their soul out to this foreign leader. And this foreign leader is hearing a very touching part of the story. My father told me I have only 2 kids. 2 kids. Not, you guys are basically servants to me. Huh. You guys are, you weren't, I didn't marry your mother because I loved her. I married your mother because I was tricked. Leah. Leah was tricked. My only reason to be with your grandfather, Lavan, was because of Rachel. That's it. Those 2 kids are my kids. Now, he didn't say that, by the way. Let's understand. Yaakov never said these words. This is Yehuda telling the story. He's weaving a story. Because, again, what would the foreign leader care if I have 10 sons, 11 sons, so one's missing, 2 are missing, who cares? I have a lot of kids. And if I go midrashically, by the way, they all had twin girls, so I have 27 kids. Why do I care about 1, 2? Okay, so I don't remember them all the time. I forget their names. Big deal. But no, so you say, no, it's not like that. You think you have a big family. In my father's eyes, he only had 2 kids. Okay? And then he says, V'yetze echad miti. And one of them went away from me. V'omar. And I said, the father said, Ach taraf, he has certainly been ripped apart. V'lo re'itiv adhin, and I have not seen him until this day. Well, I always ask the question, if he was ripped apart, why would you expect to see him? Okay. But it's, again, that's part of the story where he's giving this over to him. Fine. So then what happens is, ulakachtam gam etzeh, and you want to take also this one, Binyamin, me'im panai, from my face, v'karau ason, and something will happen, could happen to him, v'raditem etzevati barash olah. You're going to bring my old age into badness, into hell. Okay. Rashi explains, why did he say something bad would happen? Satan mekatreg b'shad hasakana. That the Satan, the prosecuting attorney, divine, accuses a person in a time of danger. Which is why, by the way, again, whenever we're going on trips, wherever we're going, we should always say tefillah sederech and ask God to protect us from these bad things. Because we are putting ourselves, every time you get in the car, on the highway, or whatever you're doing, you're putting yourself into danger. It's always a point of danger, regardless of how safe everybody thinks it is. It's a dangerous situation. Tires can blow, anything can happen, car can flip. I mean, how many times we hear of a car flipping and sometimes people die, sometimes people surviving. You know, it happened to the principal here. His car went off the highway, it flipped over, I think 2-3 times.
When was that?
A couple of years ago, actually.
Yeah.
And Baruch Hashem, the car was totaled, and his son walked away. Baruch Hashem, no damage. Pelberg, yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I think it was I know certainly once, I think 2 or 3 times it flipped, and they thought, the end is there. But, like I said, the car was totaled, but it wasn't, they walked away from it. Baruch Hashem.
Airbags.
Huh? I don't know what it was, who knows? It was Hashem.
Yeah.
That was Hashem.
Yeah.
By the way, any time you walk like that's Hashem.
2 or 3 times.
I think it was that. You have to ask him. But it flipped. Yeah, and like I said, I was on the highway. So every time you go out, I remember, I'll even tell you another better story. I was driving to the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe. I was I was from college. So there were 3 of us in the car. I was in the back seat. I wasn't driving. I'm not guilty. And we were driving the rabbi's car on top of everything else. It was a girl driving. I remember that was a girl driving, and she was driving. I don't know what happened. She lost control. The car hit the guardrail 3 times.
Oh.
3 times. Boom, boom, boom. You heard it? I was like, oh. And we said, okay, just get off the highway so we can see the damage we've just done. Not a scratch in the car.
Good old days with the cars that had real
I don't know what it was.
Real bumpers.
I'm not sure. Not a scratch in the car. And everybody, we weren't exactly, what do we do now? And then, so one of the guys said, let's continue. Let's go to the Rebbe. Okay, we're supposed to go to the Rebbe. So we went to the Rebbe. I mean, we said at that point, we had said before, Tefillah Sederech. Because they said, say Tefillah Sederech. So we said it, and we said, wow, this really works. Okay. Now, I don't know, you would have to see the replay on camera. I don't know how she did it. 3 times we hit that guardrail, and not a scratch on the car.
Snowy? What?
I don't even remember the weather. It was in the winter. She hit something. I don't know. Maybe she was looking at him. I don't know what she was doing. I was sitting in the back. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she did it 3 times, to be honest with you. But whatever it was. I remember 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. And nothing, not a scratch on the car. That again is, what?
No dents.
Nothing. The car was in perfect shape. It was, but that was, like I said, Hashem protects you. Hashem protects idiots. I can tell you. Huh? It's true, right?
Like the drunks who always walk out of the...
Yeah.
Right. So then he says, Haratem, but that's what I'm saying. The Satan, well, if we had sins or something, that's the time you're going to do it. Time is kind of so. If he would have gone, he could, something could happen. Haratem et sevati, and you will bring down my old age. He says, Achshav, shu etzli. Now that my Binyamin is near me, Ani benachim ba'ali mov yalachiv. I am comforted, even though I lost his mother, even though I lost his brother. I'm comforted. I have him. I can look at him. I can see him. I can share my love. I can throw everything to him. Im yamud zeh, but if this one will die, dome alai sheshalosh tamei to b'yom echad, it will appear to me that all 3 died on the same day. I will be devastated. Now this is what Yehuda is saying to Sanfa Panech. He's saying what his old father said. And then he says, Vieta. And now, Kevoi el avdechavi. When I come to my father, your servant, my father, V'anar einenu hitanu, and the boy is not with me, V'nafsho k'tzor b'nafsho, his soul is tied up with his soul. It's not going to be good. Vayakir oto, and it will be when he sees Kiena na'ar v'meit, that the boy is not with him, v'meit, he will die. And your servants will have brought down the old age of your servant, my father, into the depths of Sheol. Okay? So that's what he's down my horn. That's how he says it, right?
You have brought down my horn.
Horridness of my father is right. Okay, and sorrow to the grave. So you would have done that. Why would we want to do that? Because my father's going to die from being upset. Now he throws it. Now he says, "Wait a second." Now remember, he's the only one speaking. His brothers are not speaking. Right? Everybody else is silent. So he says, okay. Ki avdecha arav v'na'ar. You may, Rashi says, Im tomar, if you, sanaf panech, are saying, Lama ni nichnas l'tagar v'yoti mishar achai. Why am I doing more speaking than anybody else here? So hein kulam b'chutz are all outside. Ve'ani niksharti b'kesher chazak. I have tied myself with a very strong tie. Li'open nuda b'beit v'shnei olamot. And I have tied myself with a very strong tie to be excommunicated from two worlds, this world and the world to come. That's why I'm here. That's why he says, Ki avdecha arav v'na'ar. Your servant is a guarantor for the young man. Me'im avi lemor, from my father, saying, Em lo ami avienu elecha. If I do not bring him back to you, chatati lavi kol hayamim. Chatati la'avi. I'm speaking Yiddish suddenly. Okay. I would have sinned to my father all the days. Again, this world, the next world, I don't want that. And now, let your servant remain in place of the other guy. Let me do it. As a servant to Hashem, Ya'al im echav, and let the young boy go up with his brothers. So why should, and he's saying, L'chol davar ani ma'ula mimeno. I'm better than everything than my younger brother. For strength, for war, to service you. And by the way, if you think I'm going to run away, you think it's to set up. You said my brother's home and then I'll escape. It's not worth it to me. I'd rather stay here. I don't want to face my father. Okay? That's it. Because he says, Ki eich ele elavi. How can I go to my father? V'anar einenu iti, and the boy is not with me. Pen erev v'ra asher yimsa levi, lest I see the evil that will find my father. That will find my father. He doesn't want it. He's saying it's crazy. I can't. That will befall my father. Okay, it's not worth it to me. So take me. Now, can you imagine? I remember I was learning this with my father many years ago, many years ago at this point. And we came to this point. I have to say, Living Torah, the Living Torah by Aryeh Kaplan, Aryeh, right? Is one of the best translations I've ever seen for Torah. I really recommend for everyone who wants to learn. It's a nice, beautiful, it's very good English. I'm not sure that's... The English is very good in that book. And when I went through that story, because we were going at a pretty quick pace, he actually, my father cried because he understood what was going on here. It touched him. I've read this many times. I never cried over it, but it was interesting. My father's reaction that he was crying and saying, "Of course you're going to give in to this. The son is falling on the mercy of the court. What kind of?" And again, it's Yosef listening. So can you imagine what Yosef is thinking? My brother is fighting for my brother. My full brother. Wait, 1 second. My full brother. I had a question. This is what we talked about last week. I had a question. Why didn't Binyamin come with them the first time? Was it a fight between them? They didn't get along. But maybe they were jealous of him too. Maybe they were treating him like they treated me. And now I see, no, there's a tremendous love for my brother. He's willing to put himself into slavery for my brother. That's what I wanted to know. What was your question?
My question was, so does Yosef now realize that he got put in the pit because he was being a bit naive and presumptuous? Not presumptuous.
No, he already said, or he will say, the reason I was put into the pit,
Right, because God wanted
because God needed to do this.
Right.
So he's saying it wasn't your fault. He's going to say that.
Right. But when he says, could it be that they hate Benjamin because of the same reason they hate me? No, they just hate you. They just hated you in that moment because.
Yeah, he could have. Again, I think he's coming to a realization. It could have been one thing. It could have been a lot of things. Yosef could have re-examined himself and said, "I shouldn't have done what I did." Again, 39 years later, you think about what you could have done and so on and so forth. But he's also saying it would have happened one way or another. That's all. So what happens? Just run to the last part, 45, the new chapter. It says, Yosef could no longer restrain himself in front of all the people that were there. Why? Because everybody was yelling, let him go, let him go. Interesting. People in the court were crying. Their tears were... Wait, I have 2 minutes. The tears were streaming down their eyes. And they're saying, let him go. Do what you have to do. These are good guys. And he's like, get out. That's what he says. Vayikra, he called out, Hotziu kol ish me'alai. Send out all the men in front that are of me. V'lo amad ish ito. Now the man stood with him. B'vada Yosef el achav. When Yosef informed his brothers. How they translate it? When Yosef made himself known to his brothers. Now this is interesting. Again, Yosef is known not to speak Hebrew. Just give me a second, okay? He's known not to speak Hebrew. They've always had Manasseh there as the interpreter. Without knowing this, their nephew, without knowing that, they've always had an interpreter. Suddenly, Yosef says, everybody out of the room. Just these 11, just these 11 and me. The brothers must be thinking, we're in trouble now. Oh. He can understand us. We don't understand him. What's going to happen next? I mean, life must be flashing in front of their eyes. Yes, question.
How is Menashe interpreting this for everybody in the room then? Not just for Yosef?
Well, it's Hebrew to Egyptian to Hebrew.
Next to Yosef saying, this is what they're saying. He's standing...
No, yeah. I mean, do they all hear it? I don't think they all hear what he's... They may not. According to the opinion it says that they were... Rashi, I think, brings it down. I'm not sure who it was anymore. Yeah. According to Rashi. No, I'm sorry. Rashi didn't say it. Somebody else, the Ramban said it. The Ramban is saying that they all heard it. So according to that, you would have to say that he was saying it loud enough for them to hear it. But he's clearly the intermediary. And so now I'm saying everybody's out of the room. Manasseh never hears what he's about to say. And what he tells them is, just very quickly, he gives a cry, so on and so forth. Then Yosef says to his brothers, I'm Yosef. Is dad still alive? And they couldn't answer him because they were ashamed. And Yosef says to his brothers, come closer to me. And they did, and they told him, I'm Yosef, your brother, who you sold to Mitzrayim. But don't be upset, and don't be angry in your eyes that you sold me here, because it was so that we all lived. That's why Hashem sent me here. Okay, and so on and so forth. I'll leave it there. But it's a very touching story in that he has to realize, he has to know that they didn't just leave Binyamin at home because it's a fight. That was important for him to know, because now when he says, I'm Yosef, and identifies himself, yeah, they're going to love him, but are they loving him because they have to, or because they really do? And that's what he has to figure out. Okay.
Yeah.